Breakups don't hurt. Your attachment to illusions hurts. Your need for control hurts. Your refusal to accept reality hurts. The relationship is over. The pain you're feeling isn't grief, it's resistance. You're not mourning what was lost. You're fighting what is true. Stop fighting. Start building. The battlefield of emotional warfare. Every man faces this crucible. The woman walks away. The future you imagined crumbles. The identity you built around us shatters into fragments. This is when most men break. They beg. They bargain. They chase ghosts through empty streets, hoping to resurrect what's already dead. You have a choice. Join the ranks of the broken, or use this fire to forge yourself into something stronger. The Stoics understood that loss is life's greatest teacher. Marcus Aurelius lost children, friends, and eventually his empire. Seneca lost fortunes, was exiled from Rome, and faced death by his own student's order. Epictetus was born into slavery and lost his physical freedom before he found his mental liberation. None of them were destroyed by loss. They were defined by how they responded to it. Your breakup isn't happening to you, it's happening for you. The universe just handed you the raw materials for reconstruction. The question is, will you use them to build or to wallow? Pain is temporary. Growth is permanent. Choose wisely. The Stoic foundation of emotional rebuilding society teaches men to fear abandonment, to need validation, to measure their worth by their relationship status. This is poison. Your value doesn't diminish because someone chose to leave. Your potential doesn't shrink because someone couldn't see it. Your future doesn't die because one person decided not to be part of it. The Stoics knew that external circumstances, including other people's choices, ultimately indifferent. What matters isn't what happens to you. What matters is who you become because of what happens to you. She left. Good. Now you know exactly where you stand. Now you can stop building your life around someone else's presence and start building it around your own strength. This isn't callousness. This is clarity. This isn't cold detachment. This is strategic thinking. The 4 pillars of Stoic emotional reconstruction. Step 1. Accept the death of what never was. You're not grieving the relationship. You're grieving the fantasy you built around it. The woman who left isn't the woman you fell in love with. That woman was part real, part projection, part her, part your hopes, part genuine connection, part desperate need. The relationship that ended isn't the relationship you thought you had. That relationship existed mostly in your mind, a carefully constructed story about forever, about meaning, about destiny. These illusions had to die. They were built on false foundations. They were keeping you weak. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Accept the things to which fate binds you, and love the people with whom fate brings you together." Notice what he didn't write. Cling to people who choose to leave. Acceptance isn't passive surrender. It's active engagement with reality. It's the first step toward power. Stop trying to revive what's dead. Start building what's possible. The energy you're wasting on resurrection is energy you could be using for creation. Redirect it. Step 2. Reclaim your identity from the wreckage. You lost yourself in that relationship. Piece by piece, compromise by compromise. You traded your authentic self for the promise of love. Now that the relationship is gone, you have a choice. You can try to become who you were before, weak, needy, incomplete. Or you can use this opportunity to become who you were meant to be. This is reconstruction, not repair. You're not fixing the old you. You're building the new you. Start with your values. What do you actually believe in? Not what you said you believed to keep her happy. What principles would you die for? Continue with your goals. What do you actually want to achieve? Not what you're compromised on. Maintain peace. What legacy would make your life meaningful? Finish with your standards. What do you actually require from others? Not what you settled for to avoid being alone. What treatment would a strong man demand? The Stoics called this living according to nature, not the nature of trees and animals, but the nature of what it means to be human, rational, purposeful, virtuous. You are not half of a relationship. You are a complete man temporarily without a partner. Act like Italiano. Step 3. Transform pain into power. Every emotion is information. Pain tells you something important was threatened. Anger tells you a boundary was crossed. Sadness tells you something valuable was lost. The weak man tries to eliminate these emotions. The strong man learns from them. Your pain is teaching you about attachment. Your anger is teaching you about standards. Your sadness is teaching you about value. Listen to these lessons, then apply them. Seneca practiced voluntary discomfort to strengthen himself against inevitable hardships. He would sleep on the floor, eat simple food, wear rough clothes, not as punishment, but as training. Your breakup is involuntary discomfort, but you can treat it the same way. As training for resilience, as practice for independence, as education in emotional self-sufficiency. The muscle that tears and repairs becomes stronger than before. The heart that breaks and heals becomes more powerful than before. You're not broken. You're being rebuilt. Use this pain as fuel. Every time you miss her, do 50 push-ups. Every time you want to call her, read a book instead. Every time you feel sorry for yourself, help someone else with their problems. Transform the energy of longing into the energy of becoming. Step 4. Build fortress walls around your future. You let someone else become the center of your world. When Sa left, your world collapsed. This cannot happen again. The Stoics understood that happiness built on external things is fragile happiness. It can be taken away by forces beyond your control. Real happiness, what they called eudaimonia, comes from virtue, from character, from the strength you build inside your own soul. Build a life so strong, so purposeful, fulfilling, that losing one person can't destroy it. Build friendships that don't depend on romantic status. Build goals that don't require another person's participation. Build an identity that exists independent of relationship. This isn't about becoming a hermit. It's about becoming whole. When you're complete on your own, you attract people who want to join your strength, not people who need to feed off your weakness. The fortress isn't to keep people out. It's to ensure that when people leave, you remain standing. The Stoic response to temptation. You will be tempted to break your own reconstruction, to text her, to check her social media, to drive by places that remind you of her. This is the enemy attacking your fortress. Resist. Every time you give in to these temptations, you're reinforcing the old patterns that made you weak. You're telling yourself that your peace depends on her presence. It docente. Epictetus taught that we suffer not from events themselves, but from our judgments about events. Your judgment that you need her to be happy is what's causing your suffering, not her absence. Change the judgment. End the suffering. When you feel the urge to reach out, reach inward instead. Ask yourself, what would a strong man do right now? And do that thing. The transformation awaiting you. Here's what happens when you apply these principles. You stop being the man who lost something and become the man who gained wisdom. You stop measuring your days by her absence and start measuring them by your progress. You stop seeing the breakup as a failure and start seeing it as a graduation. You become the kind of man who doesn't need relationships to be happy, but makes relationships happier by being in them. You develop the strength to love without clinging, to care without needing, to commit without losing yourself. This is the man you were meant to be before you got distracted by the illusion that someone else could complete you. The hard truth about emotional resilience. Most men never learn this lesson. They go from relationship to relationship, building their happiness on increasingly shaky foundations. Each breakup devastates them more than the last because they never learned to stand alone. You have the opportunity to be different. To use this pain as a catalyst for the kind of growth that most men avoid their entire lives. The choice is yours. You can remain a victim of circumstance, forever at the mercy of other people's choices. Or you can become a master of your own emotional destiny. The Stoics chose mastery. They understood that true strength isn't the absence of difficulty, it's the presence of unshakable inner resources. Build those resources now, while the fire is hot and the lessons are clear. The brotherhood of the broken and rebuilt, every strong man has walked this path. Every leader, every warrior, every builder of great things has faced the crucible of loss and chosen growth over grievance. You're not alone in this experience. You are joining a brotherhood that spans centuries and cultures men who were broken by life and chose to rebuild themselves stronger. Marcus Aurelius didn't become a great emperor because nothing bad ever happened to him. He became great because he learned to transform bad things into good character. Seneca didn't become a wise philosopher because he never faced adversity. He became wise because he learned to extract wisdom from every adversity. You will do the same. She didn't break you. She revealed the places where you were already broken so you could fix them properly. She didn't destroy your future. She cleared the path for a better one. She didn't take your happiness. She showed you that happiness built on external things isn't happiness at all. This breakup is not your ending. It's your beginning, not the conclusion of your story, but the first chapter of your real story. The Stoics knew that every man must learn to stand alone before he can truly stand with others. Every man must learn to be complete before he can complement someone else. Every man must learn to love himself before he can truly love another. This is your time to learn those lessons. This is your opportunity to build the foundation that will support everything great you'll accomplish. Stop mourning what ended. Start building what begins now. Breakups don't hurt. They teach. They strengthen. They reveal. They liberate. Hit like if you're ready to stop being a victim. Subscribe if you're ready to start being a victor. Then close this video and get back to building. Your future self is waiting. Don't keep him waiting too long.